Hey there, I'm Lena Elkins, head coach and trainer at Lena Elkins Coaching. Welcome to Unfiltered, where we talk about real business, real marketing, and real transformation. This podcast is created for aspiring and growing online entrepreneurs who are investing their own capital, their own time, and their own energy into transforming their lives and companies, and are on a mission to multiply their income, influence, and impact fast. Welcome to Unfiltered, and I hope you love the episode. Hey there, Lena Elkins here. I hope you guys are having an incredible day. We just got back from Greece 2 days ago. We were there with our mastermind, and I will be creating an entire episode on just that very soon, talking about the core lessons, business strategies, new systems, and habits that we learned in order to elevate and transform our online businesses. It was really incredible. There were 8 couples there. So it's a power couples mastermind. And so all couples run businesses together, pretty significant and large businesses. Everyone has employees. Everyone is basically remote and travels the world. So people who are totally aligned with our values and our lifestyle. And it was just absolutely incredible. So more coming on that soon. But in the meantime, I wanted to create a short podcast episode for you guys talking about how easy sales can be even when you start a new online business and the fastest way to generate sales. And that is through presentations and your marketing in general, but specifically presentations, webinars, online trainings. This is by far the fastest and most effective way to not only get your message across, but to share real value and to enroll people in your unique message. So if you guys are not already doing presentations, whether they're live or online, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you integrate this into your marketing repertoire and start bringing people in this really, really powerful way. Now, if you guys are thinking, well, Lena, I already do webinars and they don't do that well. I hear you, girl. Okay. You are not the first person to say that to me. And what I often find is the reason webinars and trainings don't do well is because the entrepreneur who created them is overcomplicating them. They're trying to include a million different things between their own story and the content itself and testimonials and the sales pitch. And there's so much going on, various elements, not only within the training itself, but with the entire funnel attached to it, right? So I really want to simplify it and tell you guys the 3 core things that I include in every single training, webinar, presentation that I create. And this is what allows us to sell in the high 6 figures on average per training that we actually put out. And that is the hook, the story, and the offer. So if you're familiar with Russell Brunson, his books, his podcasts, anything that he's created, ClickFunnels itself, this is a concept that he speaks about a lot. And I learned about this many, many years ago. And ever since I was able to simplify it and implement it into my business, it has transformed how easily we have been able to attract high quality clients and convert them into high ticket sales. So let's talk about the hook, the story, and the offer. Because if you can, again, execute on these 3 powerful elements of your trainings, you will never have a problem selling. I promise you that right now, but you have to integrate it correctly. So let's just jump right into it. So let's first talk about the hook. The hook is the very first element of your training that immediately gets their attention. So a simpler way to think about it is the title, right? So how can you make the title, the core subject of your presentation, to be highly compelling, unique, juicy, inspiring, and interesting, okay? Now, the thing is, your trainings are not going to convert into paying clients if you can't even get people to opt into them and view them, right? So the very first impression that you have here is the title of your training. And so you have to make sure that it's unique, it's specific, and it's going to offer a different perspective than what they've already seen. So just as an example, maybe you're a weight loss or a health coach, right? So instead of creating a presentation on how to lose weight, make it more specific. Say how I lost 30 pounds in 90 days of only eating sushi or something like that, right? But think about your own story and what's unique about it, and how can you make the title really juicy and different than the norm, whatever it is what you see in your industry, okay? Or maybe if you are a business coach like me, don't just say how to sign more clients, but how I generated $50,000 from this one Facebook post. So find out where is your unique expertise in this and pull that out. Show a different perspective. Okay, so that is the first thing, because that's going to pique curiosity, and that's the main thing that you want. Again, it's the first impression that you're making, and you're making this impression in front of a cold audience. So these people don't already know you or love you or trust you necessarily, right? So you have to make it really unique and different. So whatever it is that you're teaching, find a different and unique way that you can be sharing that. So for example, I have good friends and previous clients, Carrie and Demir, who are productivity coaches. And so instead of just creating a lead magnet, a free piece of content called How to Be More Productive, right, as productivity coaches, they actually put out a lead magnet that focuses how the average CEO reads 52 books a year, right? 52 books a year, but most people don't have the time to do that, right? So they basically say, get the 52 most important productivity messages from 52 books all in one place. It'll take you like an hour to get through. Okay, I don't have the exact title in front of me, but it's saying if you guys want to learn productivity, here are the 52 most powerful books on productivity. We created a Cliff Notes version of all of them so that you can digest all of that and have that information in a fraction of the time. So that's a unique way of showing it. So you guys have to think, for that initial first impression, how can you make the subject, the title of your training or your presentation different? What's going to stand above the noise? What's going to make people's ears perk up? Now, the second piece is the story. And the story is your unique journey. What makes you the most heroic character in your own journey? And the reason why that is so important to think about is because if you just get up and say, well, here's how you lose weight, that's one thing. But if you can say, no, I'm a real human being and I was struggling just as you are right now, and here's how I specifically overcame it in a really special way, now that's inspiring, because ultimately people are inspired by and motivated by and relate to other humans, not products or services or ideas, but they relate to other humans. So you have to see, how can you make your unique story relatable? Okay, how is it different from other people's? How is it interesting? How is it inspiring? What about your story ultimately makes that viewer or that listener want to be you, which I know sounds weird, but how can you inspire that person? Hey, I have this and you can too. Now, I can tell you guys, I'm a business coach, and I am well aware that there are a lot of business coaches and strategists out there, okay? In fact, I'm friends with a lot of my competitors. We're all sort of in the same circles. But at the end of the day, my story is very, very different, because I didn't just start my business one day out of nowhere with no background, right? I actually have a very unique story in that I moved to a different country. I immigrated to a different country. I was 22 years old. And I literally had nothing. I didn't speak the language. I didn't have any community. I didn't have any job experience. I had just graduated from college. And coming from that and literally scrubbing the floors of a grocery store, I was able to build a very, very, very successful coaching agency. Okay. So that just goes to show, well, if Lena can do it and she started from literally nothing, then I can do it too. Right? So it's a unique and it's a different story. So what about your story makes you different, and how can you explain your hero's journey in a concise and compelling way, in an inspiring way in front of your audience? Because that's what people are going to get hooked onto. Then it transitions into your offer, right? So your offer is based on what you just talked about and the story that you have. What is the immediate next step there? Right? So for example, again, going back to the weight loss coaching example, if you just said, hey, I only ate sushi for 90 days and that's how I lost 30 pounds and this is how I did it and da-da-da-da-da, then you can say, but guess what? This actually is more specific than that. You need more details, you need more support, you need more accountability. And that's where my coaching program comes into play. And then you can lay that out and always, always, always over deliver. I mean, that's really the key with the offer. You want them to see the inspiration and then show them after, but this can be so much better and here's why, and really over deliver with bonuses, with all kinds of extras, with extra coaching sessions, whatever it is. But you want people to see that offer and say, wow, this is well worth the money. Okay. So these are the three core offers, you guys. Once again, it's the hook, the story, and the offer. I want you guys to review it. If you already have these three things, I really want you guys to analyze each of them and really think, how is this different? How is this unique? How is this compelling? And how is this juicy and relatable ultimately? So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is by far, hands down, the fastest way to get there. So go ahead and get started on your hook, your story, and your offer and make your sales easy. Love you lots, and we'll talk soon.